if I start telling people about hell, I might just scare them off. Where are you going to scare them off to? Hell number 2? Or are you just going to sit there and let them burn?
Now, we've seen super soldiers in Marvel Universe, DC Universe, and all American films that have been going through the decades, right? But there's a real aspect to it that many people don't understand. And, in fact, America has a super soldier program going on right now. You want to touch on that a little bit? Because I know I can go on for ages talking about this. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I'll give you my take on it, is there's many different, varieties of super soldiers. It's almost like this, the transhumanism thing is like the new arms race. It's one aspect of it. And everybody's trying to build a better soldier, I mean, we had, during the Cold War, we had the Allies fighting over the technology. We think of Operation Paperclip, and fighting over the German technology, what they could get out of there. The Russians were getting the mind control technology, and so were we, and anybody else could get a hold of it. So, 2017, what's the new version of that? It's going to be, how can we augment our bodies and, make them stronger, and we're talking everything from, just injecting somebody with some kind of animal cells, fusing, we're talking about human-animal hybrids and making them stronger. We're talking about, putting bionics in humans and, fusing humans with technology, all this stuff. And this is something that you guys cover, way more than we do. I went to the 2045 conference in New York back in, it must have been 5 years ago now, Russ and I. And these guys, I think they just upped their date to like 2029. I don't know.
Yes, they did.
But, obviously, when we read prophecy, when we read our Bibles, when we read the book of Revelation, we know that this is part of it, and there's something going on there. And we could talk about the mark of the beast. We could talk about the blood, and so many things. And it goes right into the things that we've been talking about tonight. So, the more we are in our Word, the stronger we are in the Lord, the more time that we spend interceding, and we can, when we're talking to God, God's talking to us. And the Bible says that even the elect would be deceived if that were possible, Matthew 24, right? So we've got to get as strong as we can, in the Word, and,
Amen.
And serving God, so we won't be deceived, and so we can see these things coming. I don't know what's going to take one of these things out. Probably a double tap to the head. When you have a hybrid, or when you have something that's not human, there's no human spirit for the demon to have to fight control over that humanoid body with. The demon can go in and have full control because it's not fighting with the human spirit. So, I just tried to give just kind of like a crash course in what we think about it, what I've seen. But there's so many things that we could talk about, and that's why I like your guys' show, because you guys talk about that stuff a lot.
Jared?
Yeah, well, I agree with Tom. I guess how much we got a limited amount of time now, don't we?
No, you just go, man. Just go.
Well, it ties into the whole Nephilim thing. I mean, it's one of the things that Hitler was obsessed with. When he was when he was obsessed with the works of Helena P. Blavatsky, who was the founder of the Theosophical Society, she was obsessed with this concept of the Archons and this pure blood race of people that, came from the Nephilim. Well, Hitler, for whatever reason, and I guess the rumor is that, when everybody went to the Antarctic in Operation High Jump back at the end of World War II, that somehow or another they had met a race of Nephilim hybrids or something called the Nordics, who were blonde-haired, blue-eyed. Himmler wrote about how he had met the new man, and they were cold and terrifying. And Hitler developed his final solution, it seems, trying to backwards engineer the bloodline to the original pure bloodline of the descendants of the Nephilim. Hitler, everything about World War II was occultic and had to do with, Hitler's ultimate spiritual beliefs in radically changing the DNA of mankind to put us in tune with an ancient race of beings we understand the scripture known as the Nephilim. Well, are you guys familiar with the work of Hugo de Garis?
No.
Yes, I've heard it before, but I haven't done extensive study.
If you guys cover transhumanism a lot on your show, you're going to love this guy. He wrote a book called The Artilect War, Artificial Intellect, The Artilect War. And what you'll find is he was a brain scientist that worked at a Chinese university trying to develop artificial brain technology. And as they studied brain technology, he started developing his own ideas about computing, some of the computing laws and the speeds in which things were developing. Halbert's rule. No, that's Halbert's Hotel. I can't remember the principle of the way processing speed doubles every year, every couple of years or something. But anyway, he's a fascinating guy to listen to, and his take on it. But something was interesting, though, that Hugo de Garis mentioned is he's been trying to develop AI. And that is this very strange compulsion. He's had it's an internal compulsion to push forward with the advancements in this technology, even though he is completely aware that what he's doing could lead to what he refers to as giga death. The death of, the giga death is a term he uses to talk about the massive death of billions of people. When we look at Revelation and we see how a third of the earth dies overnight here and a third of the earth dies again over here, and is sixth of the earth another night, whatever. You see something is coming. Something is coming that is going to eradicate massive amounts of, whether we're here or not, I don't know. I don't get into the rapture debate. But there are a lot of people that are going to die real fast. I think the scripture has clues that there's artificial intelligence involved. I personally believe that when the beast breathes life into the image of the beast, and that image is given power to wage war against the saints and for a time will prevail against them, my personal belief is that's the birth of AI. And so what's interesting about Hugo de Garis is knowing that he's quite possibly giving birth to Skynet, so to speak, that could have the potential of eradicating billions of people. He still has an internal compulsion and a need to do it. And I've often wondered, when you look at Hitler and the way he played with mediums and developing technology, when you look at the way they use channelers to glean things, when you look at the way certain mediums have come up with ideas spiritually, I really believe that Hugo de Garis had tapped in to something on the other side, propelling him into advancements in AI technology, leading to augmentation, but for the sole purpose, too, and maybe this is just me going out in the left field, but I also believe we're developing these quantum computing machines that will be capable of housing demonic spirits. And that's honestly where I'm at right now, is trying to figure out if we're dealing with artificial intelligence or machines capable of harboring a soul.
Well, good point. We got to bring you back on that point.
Yeah. We have a show that we've been planning for over 6 months on artificial intelligence, and trust me, when we do that show, it's going to validate a lot of things you just said, because there are so many. Make sure I get a link, because I'd love to hear it. Oh yeah, definitely, because there's so many different AIs being built right now by major corporations. And let me just touch on the one that Google is doing right now, which this AI is quote unquote dreaming, because they're feeding it all the information in the world's books that they're collecting for billions and millions of dollars. So that's just
isn't it creepy? Isn't it creepy how those dreams, how bizarre those dreams and the artwork it designs? I mean, I'm not going to ruin your show with other people, but how bizarre is it what it's producing? It's so bizarre, isn't it?
Yes,
it is. But there was another a scientist that was talking the other day.
2 minutes, Rory.
Because you brought it up, I know there's another scientist that was talking the other day, and one of the things that he said about the computing power that they have come across and how they're doing it, I think it's 10 to the 4,000 power. So he was saying these computers, you can actually hear a heartbeat. That's one. Yeah. And he says it's like we're standing at the altar of an alien God.
That's
I
so
was
creepy.
shocked. I was
Wow.
But that's another show. That's another show.
Yeah. So we just want to wrap it up by first. We have a minute and 25 seconds. Tell everybody how to reach you guys, and how to get the DVD, and so we could wrap it up here. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah,
Take it away.
you can buy the film. You can get the actual DVD and a bonus DVD at the website detestablefilm.com. But for anybody out there who just wants to watch it once, or you can rent it for 3 days on the Vimeo site. So we try to make it real affordable. It's $6 to rent it for 3 days on Vimeo. We also have a YouTube channel called Through the Black. Just look us up there. You can find us on Facebook, Through the Black. You can find Jared Cressman or Thomas Dunn on Facebook. And friend us. We'd love to be your friend. And we want to thank you guys so much for having us on tonight. It's been a blast, and we want to have you guys on our show sometime.
Oh, sure. Anytime, man. Anytime.
Absolutely.
And,
Absolutely.
We highly enjoyed this conversation, and we hope to do it again soon. So everybody listening, go check out our YouTube. Don't let them burn. And remember, the gospel of Jesus Christ is more important than anything else we talked about tonight. So,
Amen.
get the gospel out.
All right, you guys have a good night. Bye-bye.
God bless you.
Bless.
If you like our videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to get all our frequent updates.